I'm responding to the Coffee and Ham Radio request to set up a ham radio shack for under $1,000. I'm going to take the approach that anyone looking at that price is probably in the technician license class, and so your HF needs would be 10 meter voice, and because you're new, you're probably not doing CW, but you do definitely want a solid 2 meter station for your local repeater operations, and 440 is handy, and actually it's easier to find the combination than to leave it out. So what RNL Electronics has is the Wouxun KGUV 980PR LPS 30M, which is a quad band radio and a power supply for $370. Now, TO hit the nail on the head with these devices. You can create a nice little 2 meter vertical dipole and a 440 vertical dipole using these. For a 10 meter antenna, you only really want to be 15 feet in the air. So you can easily do that with a mast costing $100 or $120. So we'll go and say that I'm at $500 at this point. That leaves you $500 to buy Poloni and whoever's absolutely magical cables and assemble them, or any other cable you want to, and you're in business. Honestly, it's silly for a technician class licensee to be buying, our shack in the boxes that go 160 meters. Heck, most of us who are even techs can't build an efficient 160 meter antenna. And in the beginning, you're going to be doing 2 meters. Why handicap yourself with the Baofeng at $35 to try and do local 2 meters? You're going to be greatly disappointed in comparison to a solid 2 meter shack with a good vertical dipole put up at anywhere along that 15 feet that you're getting for a 10 meter dipole up there. So there's my suggestion. Start with an affordable radio. You're going to have to hunt for other people to talk to on 10 meters. But honestly, that's what technicians really should be counseled to do at this point in time. The Baofeng thing seems to leave many cold. I don't think it's been a success using that as our suggestion in our ham licensing classes. I think we should suggest a quad mobile radio with 4 bands, again, because it's easier to find the 4 band than not, and talk to our techs on 10 meters. Let's do some 10 meter FM. It doesn't have to be DX. Certainly we can do far better with 10 meter simplex than we can do with 2 meter simplex. Of course, none of this gets you into single sideband or into digital modes, but it definitely gets you a solid way to reach your local repeater groups. Probably your local emergency group does a simplex, although some of those would be done sideband, but I know my local one is done with FM simplex. And then, the Wouxun programming cable is $15 here, and so you obviously have a computer, you're watching a YT video, and if you don't, you can factor in the $60 throwaway laptop everybody's been gushing about lately. So that's my take on it. If you're looking at under $1,000 and you're a technician licensed ham, you should have no trouble whatsoever. And an even more solid case could be built for an under $200 2 meter, or maybe 440, but I actually have a straight 2 meter Alinco. It cost me $180. Connect that with a real solid vertical dipole up above your roof line. and you'll actually be ahead of most of your local hams who are probably using a quarter wave vertical, poorly implemented, so that they're not really getting good ground plane out of it. And you can do better than that. So starting a ham shack, you don't need $1,000. You just need to think about who are you going to talk to, and that's going to be the people in your local area, the club that you just joined, I hope, because getting into this without being in a club is kind of difficult. So my suggestion is for an under $1,000 ham shack, start with 2 meter and maybe the upper HF bands that you have privileges in. And as always, happy trails and enjoy communicating with your fellow hams. 73.